Hello everyone and welcome back to One Soccer. I'm your host for today, Josh Deming, and we are back with another episode of our Canadians Abroad series where each and every week we keep you guys updated with your Canadians playing abroad. This week's update will be from April 15th until April 18th, and there's a lot of good little storylines in here and I'm really excited to get into it. So if you guys are as well, as always, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well, and let's get into the update now. We're going to start things off in Germany with Alphonso Davies. Over the weekend, Davies started and played all 90 minutes as a left wing back in a 3-5-1-1 system. Davies had 93 touches, 8 recoveries, he completed 86% of his passes, having 2 shots, creating 1 big chance, and he put in the cross that led to an own goal as Bayern Munich went on to beat Arminia Bielefeld 3-0 to sit top of the table with a 23-3-4 record. Bayern are now on the brink of winning their 10th consecutive Bundesliga title, and they can do so at home this weekend against Borussia Dortmund in Der Klassiker. We usually see Davies as a left back and a back four for Bayern, so it's nice to see when they switch up the shape to that back three, allowing Davies to play as a left wing back where he gets up and down the pitch, and in my opinion, his best position because he's the most effective. Moving along to England now, we're going to take a look at Junior Hoilett, who was in action on Monday. Hoilett started for Reading as a left midfielder in a 4-4-2 system, playing 84 minutes, having 37 touches, 2 shots, 1 key pass. He hit the woodwork and he picked up an assist in a wild match, as Reading were losing 4-1 to Swansea, but they battled back to draw 4-4. They sit in 21st place with a 13-8-22 record on 41 points. They are 7 points off of 22nd relegation place Peterborough. Reading have had a real up and down season. With that point deduction and that long stretch of poor form, it seemed like a relegation was potentially on the cards, but they found a way to get a little bit more consistency, and showing this type of spirit to come back from 4-1 down to grab this point, it's probably already enough, but if it comes down to it, that point can go a long way to making sure that they're safe. We are moving along now to Nottingham Forest and Richie Laryea.
And what we're seeing with Richie Laryea, you want to see playing time. And I loved even Alistair Johnston's response, when he talked about, hey, your coach, Herdman would like to see you guys go into Europe. And he's like, yeah, but we also want to play. And he loves the playing time that he's getting with CF Montreal. Because, you can be in a great environment, training-wise and everything. But if you're not getting that game time, it is just, it can be stifling in many, many ways.
Do I have 30 seconds here? Because I just wanted to address Laryea really quickly. He's not playing right now because Nottingham Forest is finishing their season. Once we understand where they are in terms of the playoffs or potential promotion, his future will become much more clear. Like we've reported on this show before, Toronto FC is interested in bringing the player back, but it's not a simple move to make. So let's wait till this season runs down for Nottingham Forest. Then things will become much more clear about Laryea's short-term future.
There are some interesting points that Gareth Wheeler talked about. The first one I want to touch on is the fact that John Herdman does make this aware, and his players know it, is the fact that he wants them playing in top 5 leagues for top 5 clubs. He wants to see them play at the most competitive level. But it's interesting to see when a player realizes that this might not be the best situation for him. Alistair Johnston is recognizing this. He's a player who wants to play. It's not only that the fact that he wants to play, but he wants to keep his body at the tip-top shape it can be in leading up to a World Cup year. So if he's wondering, well, okay, if I make that jump to Europe, there's absolutely no guarantee that I'm going to play. And everything looked like it was all sunshines and roses for Richie Laryea when he made that move, and it seemed like he was going to break his way into that squad. But it's taken a very, very long time to do so, and I think that's making some of these players skeptical about making that move. It's also interesting to note that TFC want to bring Richie Laryea back. Not only is this a good fit for TFC because they're a little depleted on the fullback position, but Richie Laryea knows this city, he knows this club, he would come back and he would get the minutes he wants leading up to the World Cup. It's just whether the fact that they can pull off this deal or not, and also it probably depends if Nottingham Forest get promoted, because if they do get promoted, there's a real possibility that they're going to invest heavily in this side, which then could bring in more fullbacks that would push Richie Laryea down the pecking order even further. His short-term future may be up in the air, but I want to praise Richie Laryea because it's not easy to make this type of move and to not feature for as long as he did. It showed real character, and he finally did feature for Nottingham Forest as they went on to win 4-0 against West Bromwich Albion. He was subbed on into the match in the 79th minute for Spence. He was playing in that 3-4-1-2 system. He did not look out of sorts whatsoever. It was really good to see Richie make that jump. And now Nottingham Forest are in a real promotion push right now. They're sitting on 20 wins, 10 draws, 11 losses on 70 points in a comfortable 5th place. All Canadian men's national team fans were very excited for the moment that Richie Laryea made his debut for Nottingham Forest. Let's hope that his form can continue and he can push to break into the starting 11. Moving along to Germany now, we're going to take a look at Scott Kennedy, who was in action over the weekend. Kennedy started and played all 90 minutes as a center back in a 4-4-2 system. Kennedy completed 79% of his passes, had 2 key passes, 14 clearances, 3 interceptions, and 8 recoveries. It was a really strong return to the starting 11 for him, as Jan Regensburg went on to draw the match 1-1, and with that result, they sit 9th place in the table with a 10-9-11 record. With performances like that, Kennedy will cement his place back in the starting 11, which is really good to see to get those type of minutes leading up to a World Cup year. Moving along to France now, we're going to take a look at Jonathan David, who was in action once again over the weekend. David started and played 79 minutes as a striker in a 4-4-1-1 system. David had 31 touches, 3 shots, he completed 69% of his passes, and he had 1 big chance missed, as once again, this is another frustrating week for David and Lille. They lost the match 2-1 against Lens, which meant they lost both derby matches. The fans did not like to see it, as Lille now sit with a record of 12-12-8 on 48 points, dropping to 9th place in the table. David is scoreless in his last 6 matches for Lille and 9 in all competitions. However, David's going to have a couple big opportunities to find the back of the net this week, as midweek they have a match against Reims, and over the weekend they have a match Sunday against Strasbourg, so be sure to tune into One Soccer to catch the matches. Moving along now to take a look at Ike Ugbo, who over the weekend started for Troyes as a striker in a 5-4-1 system. He played 82 minutes as Troyes went on to draw Strasbourg 1-1. Ugbo was very quiet throughout the match, however, had a total of 11 touches, only made 5 passes, and had 0 shots, as Troyes sit 15th in the table with an 8, 9, and 15 record on 33 points. It was one of those days for Troyes and Ugbo, as Strasbourg absolutely dominated this match, did not make it easy for Ugbo. He tried to do what he could. However, when fighting a relegation battle, every single point matters, and over the weekend, without any doubt, Troyes absolutely grinded out a result to get that big point. Moving along to the Netherlands now, we're going to take a look at Charles Brim, who's in action over the weekend. Brim started and played 88 minutes as a right wing in a 3-4-3 system, as Eindhoven lost 3-1 to Young PSV. Brim was solid throughout the match, having 57 touches, 3 shots, 2 key passes, and had 1 big missed opportunity. Eindhoven sit 3rd place in the table with a 19-7-9 record. They are 7 points off of 2nd place, which is an automatic promotion place, which means that more than likely, if Eindhoven are going to get promoted this season, they're going to have to do it through the playoffs. Brim might not have got the result he wanted in that match, but on the flip side of things for Young PSV, Simon Colijn absolutely did, as Colijn started that match and played 90 minutes as a striker in a 4-2-3-1 system. He had 34 touches, completed 90% of his passes, had 2 shots, and picked up an assist. With that win for Young PSV against Eindhoven, they now sit in 12th place with a 11, 7, and 16 record. Not a bad little performance there from Colijn. Stopping on over in Belgium, we're going to take a look at Liam Fraser, who over the weekend started and played 90 minutes as a CDM in a 4-2-3-1, as Deans went on to lose the match 2-1 to finish off the regular season in 4th place with a 9, 12, and 7 record. It's been really nice to see Liam Fraser make this transition into European football. He's been a locked-on starter since making the move. He's had a solid season as well, and I'm hoping he's able to carry it into next season. Moving along to Greece, now we're going to take a look at Derek Cornelius, who was in action over the weekend. He started and played 90 minutes as a center back in a 4-2-3-1 system, as Pandalikos drew 0-0. With the result, they sit with a 9, 6, and 15 record and are now in 5th place in the Greek League relegation group. It's a bit of a frustrating result as they lost their first 3 matches in the relegation group, but they've now got a draw and picked up their very first point. So it's a start. It is nice to see Cornelius back and playing as a center back, because in my opinion, again, that's where he thrives. Portugal is our next destination, where we're going to take a look at Stefan Eustáquio, who started on the bench over the weekend but was substituted into the match in the 64th minute to help Porto secure an emphatic 7-0 win. Steph looked good coming into the match, having 38 touches, 91% of his passes were accurate. He had 2 key passes, 3 recoveries, as Porto sit in first place with a 26-4-0 record, 9 points ahead of Sporting now. They are now on 58 consecutive matches without defeat, and Porto are still on course to finish the entire season undefeated. This is really incredible stuff for Porto. This is a very, very good squad, and from a Canadian men's national team perspective, it's really good to see Eustáquio start chipping away, getting the minutes when he can, and looking good coming from the bench. Moving along to Serbia now, we're going to take a look at Milan Borjan, who started over the weekend. He started in goal and played all 90 minutes as you would expect for Red Star, as they went on to keep a clean sheet and draw Partizan 0-0, with this result putting them in first place in the championship group with a 26-4-1 record on 82 points, as Partizan remained in second place with a 25-5-1 record on 80 points. It's still an incredible title race in Serbia. Red Star will be a little disappointed not to get the 3 points playing at home, but regardless, it's still job done. They got the point, they got the clean sheet, they move on and still keep that 2-point gap. Taking a look now at Stefan Mitrovic, a Canadian men's national team eligible player as well as being eligible for Serbia. Over the weekend, Stefan started and played 90 minutes as a left wing in a 4-3-3 system, as Raninsky went on to draw 0-0. With that result, they sit 7th place in the championship group with a 9-14-8 record on 41 points. Stopping on over in Switzerland now, we're going to take a look at Liam Miller, who was in action over the weekend. Miller started and played 83 minutes as a left attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1 system. Miller missed one big chance. He made 18 of 26 successful passes. He had 2 shots, 52 touches, as Basel went on to draw 0-0 in the match to sit 2nd place in the table with a 13-14-3 record on 53 points. It's very difficult to win a league title when you have more draws than you do wins. That's just been the story for Basel this season. Regardless, it's been an incredible season for Liam Miller, as he's just really had a breakout campaign. He's hoping to build on that next season and get a little bit more pieces around him so they can have an actual title push next season. Moving along to Turkey now, we're going to take a look at Samuel Adekubi, who over the weekend started and played all 90 minutes as a left back in a 4-2-3-1 system, as Hatayspor went on to draw 1-1 against Sivasspor. Adekubi had 3 interceptions, 9 recoveries, 54 touches, and had a 93% pass accuracy. Adekubi had another strong showing despite giving away the penalty for Sivasspor's only goal of the match, as Hatayspor now sit 9th place in the table with a 14-7-12 record. We are moving along to the MLS now to take a look at Maxime Crépeau, who over the weekend started in goal for LAFC, making 2 saves. He had 16 of 20 accurate passes, he had 6 of 10 accurate long balls, and he had 31 touches, as LAFC went on to win against Sporting KC 3-1 to sit 1st place in the West with a 5-1-1 record. It's been an incredible start for Crépeau in his first season with LAFC, as right now they are tied on points with Philadelphia Union for the top spot in the MLS on 16 points. It's very easy to say that Crépeau has found a home in LA. Moving along to Houston now, we're going to take a look at Tyler Pasher, who over the weekend started and played 59 minutes as a right attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1 system. Pasher had 26 touches, a 71% pass accuracy, and he didn't have any shots. It wasn't Pasher's most influential match, as Houston drew Portland 0-0, but right now they sit 5th in the West with a 3-3-1 record. It's been a really strong start to the season for Houston Dynamo so far, and it's been really encouraging to see Pasher get these starting minutes. Heading on over now to the LA Galaxy, we're going to take a look at Raheem Edwards, who over the weekend started and played all 90 minutes as a left back in a 4-2-3-1 system. Edwards completed 30 of 40 successful passes, he had 82 touches on the ball, 7 recoveries, 2 successful dribbles, and was fouled 4 times, as the Galaxy went on to draw Chicago Fire 0-0, and with the result, they sit 3rd place in the West with a 4-1-2 record. Moving along now to Minnesota United, we're going to take a look at Dayne St. Clair, who in my opinion was the Canadian performer of the week. He started in goal for Minnesota, having 38 touches, 6 recoveries, and he made 7 saves, including a world-class fingertip save, denying what should have been a for sure goal for the Colorado Rapids, as Minnesota United went on to win 3-1 against the Rapids to sit 7th place in the West with a 3-2-2 record. Dayne St. Clair is absolutely taking his game to the next level. He keeps coming up with these matches that just blow you away. He's already got the attention of John Herdman, getting recalled back into the Canadian men's national team. And I'm just very curious now with Borjan, Crépeau, St. Clair. The keeper position for Canada is looking really good at the moment. On the flip side of that result, we're going to take a look at the Colorado Rapids and Marc-Anthony Kaye, who started that match and played 90 minutes as a center mid in a 3-4-2-1 system. Kaye completed 79% of his passes, had 6 recoveries, 78 touches on the ball, 3 interceptions, and 4 successful dribbles, as Colorado, with that loss to Minnesota, sit 10th place in the West with a 2-2-3 record. A lot of our Canadian women did not feature over the weekend, but we're going to take a quick little look at PSG. Ashley Lawrence did not feature in that match, but Jordan Huitema did come off the bench as she was subbed into the match in the 86th minute, as PSG went on to win 6-1, keeping the title race alive in France, as they sit 2nd place in the table with a 16-2-1 record on 50 points. They're only 5 points behind league leaders Lyon on 55 points. It's been a very competitive title race so far in France, but it is a nice thing to know, whether it's Lyon or whether it's PSG to win the title, that there will be some Canadians celebrating at the end of the season. Kyle Larin and Atiba Hutchinson did not feature over the weekend for Besiktas, but the big question mark was the fact that Kyle Larin didn't even come off the bench for Besiktas. His season this year has not been anywhere near what it was last season, although his Canadian men's national team performances have still been definitely up to par. He's looking to go potentially, hopefully, to a top 5 league, and the one recent rumor, which doesn't have a lot of credibility around it, is the fact that Fiorentina may be interested, and I personally would love to see that type of move. Fiorentina is a very fun team to watch. I think Kyle Larin could settle in there quite well and definitely find the back of the net. So just a very interesting storyline there, and we'll have to keep a look on Kyle Larin to see what his future is going to bring. That's all the time we have on this week's episode of Canadians Abroad. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub as well, because we are on the road to 50,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to help us get there, as well as stay up to date with all things Canadian soccer, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers, friends.